Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter!
Harry Potter, a weedy, semi-blind orphan from a suburban English town that just so happens to get invited into the world of wizardry. Attending this place, Hogwarts, the most dangerous school in existence. Alongside that grave danger, he, along with his friends and enemies, learns the wondrous spellbinding art of magic. This world is one of flying brooms, floppy wands, and gladiatorial one-on-one combat with dragons. Every year there is a new experience or two. Every year there is a new danger or 5. One of these 5 dangers being that of he who shall not be named, but I shall do so anyway, Lord Voldemort, is the reason Harry is an orphan, the very force of evil in this world. It's a tale of mystery, of companionship, a coming-of-age story. Romance, thriller, horrifying, glorious, yes, Harry Potter does it all and more. This is Harry Potter, the story, and this is Harry Potter, the franchise. The franchise worth over $43 billion. First there came the books, then there came the movie series, then in no particular order came the amusement parks, studio tours, parodies, puppet musical numbers, and games. The upcoming anticipated title of Hogwarts Legacy is just around the corner, a game set in this franchise, a franchise which has exploded into the stratosphere and will not be coming down anytime soon. It is too big to fail. But it wasn't always like this. For long ago, in the distant age some call the 1990s, the Potter universe was a mere afterthought in one woman's head. That woman being JK Rowling. The idea for Harry Potter came to her on a crowded train from Manchester to London, the most magical of settings. It would take 5 years of brainstorming and building before JK Rowling, under her pen name JK Rowling, would release the first of the Harry Potter books. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone in my homeland. Never understood why it was changed. The impact was immediate. In 3 years she had sold the series rights in America for a record $105,000. That's unprecedented for an unknown author. Yes, JK here had struck gold with her world. The setting inspired many a child to run into a wall with the hopes of being transported to a magical world. And as more books followed, it would continue to do so. And the rest, as they say, is history. June 6th, 2020. JK Rowling takes to Twitter. She spots this headline. She does not agree with the term people who menstruate being used in place of the word women. Miss Rowling states as much. This is the minor spark that would set off an inferno. It's certainly an odd comment, but perhaps she would avoid any. Backlash came almost instantly. Cries for clarification came next. JK Rowling would provide such. Now, what's going on with these statements here? What is she actually saying? Well, not much at face value. However, the devil is in the details, and as they are written by an author, let's delve into the implications of such statements. Firstly, JK is strongly hinting that if, as a society, we open up the concept of sex to go beyond genetic parameters, erasing the norm, then that would hinder said genetic males and females in discussing their lives meaningfully. If we were to accept that trans women can be, in essence, the same as genetic women, then that would do the latter a disservice and strip them of their identity. But would it? Would it really? It's a flawed notion logically. Should our identities as a member of a particular sex be influenced and threatened by the preferences of others? I'm not so sure it should. Or am I simply putting words into her mouth? Am I making too many logical leaps? Perhaps. The original tweet was in response to a headline's non-use of the term women, remember? Only time would tell. The following day comes. More tweets arrive. This one is obviously in response to backlash, accusatory remarks that the author hates trans people. The tone is defensive but defiant. It's in this one here where we can discern a separation in the author's viewpoints. The separation between trans women and genetic women. I'd march with you if you were being discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. Separation of the two terms is clear here, and it's certainly interesting to say the least. This is the true catalyst in my opinion, because when you notice this, you start to see similar behaviour in prior tweets. Because they're vulnerable in the same way as women. Not they are vulnerable as women. The devil is in the details, and if it is a mere slip of the keyboard, then one must be more careful on these matters. You may have noticed how careful I am trying to be, and perhaps failing. This is an issue that means a great deal to many people. It deserves the best of attention. If this is a slip-up, then it's quite negligent. But it would appear that it wasn't. 3 days later, on June 10th, Rowling would post again. TERF Wars. TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. Feminism for genetic women. Feminism that does not extend to trans women. A strange gesture. This was followed by a long-winded post on her website discussing a prior incident of her defending a tax specialist who lost her job for transphobic tweets, after which she detailed 5 reasons to be wary of new trans activism. The timing is terrible, the content disagreeable, and to many, more suited in discussing such matters than I am, transphobic. It seemingly sets the conversation back surrounding trans people, feeding into and creating more division among people. Division which is so commonplace today. This echoes comments made by Daniel Radcliffe, the star of her Harry Potter movie series. As an aside, purely because this isn't the main focus of the video, I've read into arguments on both sides. I consider the studies into these matters as wholly inadequate and incomplete. More needs to be done before we make judgments that discourage and discriminate against an entire group of people. I understand the concerns in principle, but they need a well-supported base from which to spring from, and I just don't see it as of today. Anyway, the backlash came in droves. Denouncement of what was written that could never be unwritten. The earthquake this sent through the Harry Potter fanbase and community was monumental. One of the biggest fan bases amassed in history now had a serious dilemma on their hands, and even bigger questions to ask themselves. Can this artist be detached from her works, so as they could continue to enjoy the franchise that means so much to them? And can they rightly support the franchise, knowing that, in doing so, they would in turn be supporting a creator whom is now judged to be entirely problematic, and that's putting it lightly. After this, many tied to the author have come out in support of trans rights and go directly against what the author stated, although there are many on the opposite side, those who support what she said, prominent figures within the community and outside of it. Recently, the matter has been exacerbated by the upcoming release of the highly anticipated Hogwarts Legacy on all platforms, a Harry Potter property, one which Miss Rowling would monetarily gain from should the fanbase purchase it. It's a matter which has caused such infighting among fans of the franchise, some refusing to purchase the game, others attempting to waive any personal culpability when carrying out their pre-orders. Notably, JK Rowling has responded to fans' cries to boycott the game as being book-burning and pure think, even taking the time to respond to one fan in particular, Jessie Earle. She, according to famed author Stephen King, blocked him on Twitter due to him stating his opinion that trans women are indeed women. There's no set rule on how to respond to this. There's no general consensus on the matter. Emotions, investments are involved, which make everything hazy. Morally, we'd like to say that once that person is proven to have an unjustifiable quality and or opinion, then we should as a society stop supporting that person. Supporting them would ensure that they maintain their social platform from which they can continue to spout their viewpoints. This would lead to a vicious cycle of indoctrination. People's beliefs would be influenced by their favourite creators' views on social situations. No, they should not be supported. That should be the bottom line, but it isn't. Take proven serial assaulter Chris Brown, for instance. He's on a lot of playlists, still selling out shows, still famous. I can hardly believe it when another story pops up about him doing well. Take H.P. Lovecraft. His mind-bending works of cosmic horror are influential to so many storytellers the world over, and yet he has a history littered with racist beliefs and much more. Every individual makes a choice with these well-known examples, to engage in their work and enjoy it, separating the artist from their art, or to denounce and boycott it entirely. It's a difficult choice to make for many, It's a terrible proposition. You either pick morality, which may fall on deaf ears anyhow, or personal enjoyment born from years and decades of investment. Whether you can truly separate the world from its creator is up to you. I'm not here to make decisions for you. This isn't a place of judgment, rather it is one of reflection and discussion. Factually, when pre-orders opened for Hogwarts Legacy, the game shot up to the top of the selling charts. The controversy has not and will not do much to JK Rowling's net worth, nor will it strongly impact sales of the title. Miss Rowling's response is clear. When asked on Twitter how she could sleep at night knowing that she had lost a huge audience from buying her books, she replied thusly, "I read my most recent royalty checks and find that the pain goes away pretty quickly." Hogwarts Legacy is a title with many eyes on it. It represents a unique opportunity to involve yourself in the world of wizardry. A world handcrafted by JK Rowling. Revisionism be damned, she made the world utilizing various inspirations. She will always be tied to Harry Potter. Her name will be in the credits. Hogwarts Legacy, inspired by the works of JK Rowling. The question that everyone asks in situations such as these: what's the price of morality?